Alright, so here is a video for Jordan Yu, and this is about dealing with some balancing issues on plastic blades. So, what you got in front of here is the Arctic Wind 16-inch desk fan. This fan has a very unbalanced blade, so let me start it up and you will see what I mean. And right off the bat, it is shaking very badly. The vibration on this fan is very intense, and if you take a look at the side view, you try to angle this as best as I can. Um, but yeah, even though the camera's not fully zoomed in, I could kind of see the blade wobbling. The vibrations are going to cancel out, but you can see the grills, they're moving around. One of these blades is out of clock, so going to find out which one. So yeah, that fan should not be wobbling when spinning down. It seems to be like one of the blades. I might try to find out for myself which one it is. Alright, so let's start to take off the grill real quick. Just to see what it is from the front. This is one of the methods I got from him. If it's something from the front, what Jordan Yu would do is rub his finger right up against the leading edge. Alright, so this one seems to be out of clock. This blade right here, so I'm going to get a marker and mark it down. Alright, so we got that marked down. So let's see if that's the case. Now let's do that again. And I could pretty much hear two blades touching up against my finger. So now to do the back portion, what I'm going to do, and this is something that you should not try while the fan is running, but I'm going to try to stick this scissors and probably rub it up against actually no, I'm going to use this butter knife right here and rub it up against the back of the blade while it's coasting down to see which one is the issue. So here we go again. Alright, so it's up to speed. Now let's stick this butter knife in there. Now be careful though, I don't want it to break these blades. Alright, so it is very evident that this blade is having some problems, so what I'm going to do, and since I have the stove here, I'm going to pretty much heat this blade up to get it back in shape. So the way I usually do this, right, is I will go in a triangular pattern in the area where it's mostly needed. So it seems that the pitch in the back, it's pitched a bit backwards, so I'm gonna try to fix that. But yeah, okay, so here we go. So I might try to heat this up until it's a bit malleable. So there we go. Let's start the heat up. Medium setting if you got a gas stove. Alright, so I'm gonna get this as close as possible. Don't have this contact the stove, otherwise you're gonna melt the plastic. But you see what I'm doing here, right? I'm making a triangular shaped pattern up against the leading edge of the blade. I'll do the same for the trailing edge. Alright, so the plastic's a bit malleable now. I will probably do a bit of it at the front too. You do not want to overheat this, because if this overheats, then you might have to you might make the problem worse. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flex this forward like this. Flex it all the way. Right? And this is to help the leading edge get back in shape. So I'm going to check this while it's running and see if the shape holds up. Okay. Now we want to compress a bit onto the leading edge. That way the shape of the leading edge matches the other two blades. Alright, seems to be working so far. Okay, so there we got it. Going to check. I'm going to press this up against the wall and see if it's already balanced enough. Okay. Alright, so we got that balanced out. So let's see if that actually worked. Alright, so actually the best way to see if the blade's balance is using the butter knife while the fan is off. You're going to rotate the blade manually, and you're going to see which leading edge touches and which one doesn't. I hate these snake lights. These are very annoying. I'm not sure why these were placed in the kitchen. Okay, so we're going to test it out. Notice that okay, it might be better if I place this right here, but notice that the blade is touching the butter knife. That's what you want to check for. I'm going to rotate the blade here. This one has some clearance, as you can see. This blade has some clearance. Let's rotate this one. This one also has some clearance. So, going to mark this other blade for the clearance. Just like that. And I'm going to check again to confirm and see how it goes. Right? You want this blade to be well balanced. Of course, it's not going to come in well balanced from a Chinese manufacturer. Alright, so this one's touching the leading edge. This one's not. Okay, they're all out of balance. Alright, so this one's the one that's a bit too far. This one's all the way to the back. This one's not touching at all, actually. Neither is this one, so. Okay, so in that case, these two blades will have to be, the leading edge will have to be pushed back a little. So we're going to try that again. And let's go to the stove right now. Alright, so once again, we're at the stove. I'm going to turn this on onto the medium setting. And using the guidelines that I marked down, I'm going to pretty much heat up the leading edge and warp it back to match this leading edge right here. Alright, so I'm going to place as close as possible, right? Make that triangular shape that I was mentioning before until it gets malleable enough to manipulate. Now, always remember, you do not want the blade touching the stove directly, otherwise you're going to melt the plastic. Alright, so it is soft enough to bend back. Alright, so let's try to bend this as much as we can. You check the one, not this one. So this one's Alright, so this one, as you can see, is pretty much straight. So I might need to make this one the same thing. So let's push this back a little bit like that. Make it straight. Alright. Push it more back. If not, try to bend it all the way back just to make the leading edge as straight as possible. And now we're going to do the same with this leading edge. I'm going to start the process right here. Okay. Some of the plastic's starting to melt a little bit, so got to be cautious with it a bit. Alright, same thing, triangular shape. Heat up until the plastic's soft enough to manipulate. Alright, so there we go. Don't want to melt this too much because this is not a very thick blade. So once again, push the leading edge all the way back. Right. Want to make it straight as possible. This video might be a bit long because, you know, this is a process that it's not easy to do because these things are not going to come out perfect. So there we go. Okay, let's check everything else. So that should be good enough, I believe. Yeah, so let's get this back onto the fan itself and try it again. So I might repeat the process with the unmarked blade because now that I push these two all the way to the back, this one's not pushed far enough to match the leading edge of these two blades right here. So I'm going to try it again, this time off camera, and I'm going to come back and alright, so here I am back. This is after manipulating the unmarked blade and checking the balance with the butter knife by making sure all the leading edges are well aligned. So there should not be any problems anymore, so let's test it out. Here's high speed. Alright. Looks good so far. The balance is almost, it's sort of improved, but not really enough. But once again, we're dealing with a Chinese blade that could also have a problem with the center hub. Take the side view. Take a close look now. Alright. Yeah, as you can see, one of the blades is still off clock. It's not really perfect. But the vibrations that are seen on the camera, they're actually a whole lot reduced. You don't see much vibrations going on. And this fan is quite powerful. This is like this is from 2011 of all years. Just take a look at that. The air was whipping. It's the air being whipped is incredible. All right, should be good enough. Let's turn this off. But yeah, so this is probably another good success. So hopefully to Jordan you, I hope this video helped you a lot. And of course, till next time, thanks for watching.